1. Introduction. My name is Josie. I am 26 years old. I work at an advertising company in a big city. I live by myself in a small apartment near my office. My days are usually the same: meetings, emails, and coffee. Nothing very exciting happens in my life. This was true until one special night changed everything. It was a Friday evening. My friend and coworker, Mia, asked me to go to an office party after work. She told me that clients and people from other companies would be there. She also said there would be good music. I did not plan to stay for a very long time. I just wanted to relax a little. At the party, the lights were not very bright. The music was loud, and many people were talking and laughing. I went to the bar right away to get a drink. It was then that I saw him. He was standing alone close to a large window. He wore a dark, expensive suit. His hair was very tidy, and his face looked strong. His eyes were cold and serious. He looked like a very powerful man, but I did not know who he was. I had never seen him before this night. Something about him made me want to know more. His mystery pulled me closer. I walked toward him and offered a small smile. "Hello," I said softly. He looked at me for only a very short time, perhaps just 1 second. Then he turned his face away completely. He did not smile back, and he did not say anything at all. He acted as if I was not even there. I felt very embarrassed. I quickly walked back to the place where people were dancing. I tried to act like I did not care about his cold reaction. But inside, I felt two different things: a little anger because he ignored me, and also a strange, strong interest in him. I could not stop thinking about the man by the window. He was a complete mystery. 2. The dance. I started to dance. The music was fast and loud. I wanted to forget the man I had seen before. He was still near the window, not moving. I moved my body to the music's rhythm. I closed my eyes for a short time, clearing my thoughts. When I opened my eyes, I saw him again. He was watching me. His eyes were on me. It was the same man who had ignored me just minutes ago. Soon, another man came to me. He was tall and looked confident. He smiled and asked me to dance. I said yes, feeling some relief. We began to dance. We moved to the music, laughing a little. But after 1 minute, the first man, the mysterious one, came closer. He walked straight to us. He touched the other man's shoulder. He spoke in a low, deep voice full of power. "She is dancing with me now," he said. The other man looked surprised, then left quickly. He did not say a word. I felt very surprised. My heart started to beat fast in my chest. The mysterious man looked at me, his eyes serious. "You are hard to ignore," he said. His words made my face feel warm. Then we started to dance. We danced slowly, very close. His hands felt strong on my back. His voice was calm, but his eyes had a dangerous, exciting look. I felt many strong feelings. The music played, but it felt like the world had stopped. Every second felt long and important. I could feel his breath near my ear as we moved. It was a strange, powerful moment full of unspoken questions. When the slow song finished, I moved away from him. I did not want him to see I was weak or confused. "Do you always change your mind so fast?" I asked. I tried to make my voice sound strong. He gave a small smile. "Only when I see something I want," he answered. He looked at me with his intense eyes. The party continued, but for a moment it felt like only we were there. I did not know what to say next. This man was very different. I did not understand him. I felt nervous, but also excited. The air between us was thick with unspoken words and strong feelings. 3. A big mistake. The party ended. I walked outside into the cool night air. I wanted a taxi, but then I heard his voice. It was the mysterious man from the party. "Let me take you home," he said. His voice was deep. I looked at him. I remembered how he ignored me, then danced with me. I did not want him to think I was easy, so I said, "No, thank you, I can call a taxi." He did not move. He just stood there, tall and quiet, looking at me. His eyes were strong. After a moment, I felt something change. I was tired and it was late. I nodded slowly. "Fine, just drop me off at my building." We walked to his car. It was a big, black car. We sat inside and he started the engine. The car was quiet and warm. We did not talk. City lights moved quickly outside the windows. I felt his presence next to me. A strange feeling was in the air. My heart beat a little fast. Soon, the car stopped. We were in front of my apartment building. I looked at him. "Thank you," I said, and I started to open the door. But then his hand touched mine. His skin felt warm. "Don't go," he said softly. His eyes looked into mine. My hand stopped. I did not move. I looked at his hand, then at his face. I knew this was a big moment. I knew I should go home, but I did not. I stayed. It was a mistake, a big mistake. We did not go to my home. We drove to his hotel. His hotel was big. We went up to his room. The room was also big with a view of the city. We started to talk. We talked about small things. We laughed sometimes. His smile was different now, not cold. It was soft. We sat on the sofa. Time passed quickly. It felt good to talk to him, to laugh with him. I felt very comfortable. Then we kissed. It was a long, soft kiss at first, and then it became more. My heart was beating fast again, but this time it was from happiness. We moved from the sofa to the bed. That night I slept with him. It felt wild and new. It felt wrong because I hardly knew him, but it also felt very real. In the morning, I still did not know his name. This was a secret I would keep. I hoped everything would be okay. 4. The next morning. The next morning, I woke up slowly. Bright sunlight came through the hotel room curtains. It was a new day. I looked around the big room. He was already awake. He sat on the edge of the bed. He was putting on his shirt. His movements were calm and quick. I said, "Good morning," in a quiet voice. He turned his head and looked at me. His face was calm. I could not read his thoughts. There was no smile. There was no warmth in his eyes. He just looked at me for a moment. Then he spoke. His voice was not soft. He said, "You should go now. I have a meeting very early this morning." My heart felt heavy. His words were like a cold wind. There was no friendly goodbye. There was no kind word. I felt a sudden sadness. It was a strange feeling. I felt like I was not important. I felt used. My stomach hurt. This was not how I thought the morning would be. I had made a big mistake last night. I knew it then. I got out of the bed. I found my clothes on the floor. I dressed myself quickly. My hands were shaking a little. I did not look at him again. I just wanted to leave the room. I wanted to leave this place. I did not want him to see how I felt. I walked to the door. I opened it and stepped outside. I did not look back at the room or at him. I walked through the hotel lobby. The morning air outside was cool on my face. All day, I could not stop thinking about what happened. My mind kept going back to his words. "You should go." I felt very stupid. I felt angry with myself. Why did I stay? Why did I go to his hotel? I had been so silly. I told myself I must forget this night. I must forget him. It was a bad memory. I would not let it bother me anymore. I promised myself I would move on. 5, a big surprise. It was Monday morning. Josie was at her job. She tried to work, but it was hard. She wanted to forget the weekend. Today was a new start. In the afternoon, there was a very important meeting. Her advertising agency was getting a big new client. This was a huge deal for the company. Everyone was excited, but also nervous. Josie felt the same. She hoped the meeting would go well. She walked into the big meeting room. Many people were already there. Her boss stood at the front. Josie found a seat. She took a deep breath. She needed to be professional. The room became quiet. Her boss began to speak. "Good afternoon, everyone," he said. "Today is a special day. We are happy to welcome our new client. This is a big step for our agency." He paused. "Please welcome Mr. William Carter, the CEO of Carter Industries." Josie's heart stopped. Her stomach felt cold. She looked to the door. A man walked into the room. He wore a gray suit. He looked strong and calm. His hair was neat. It was him. It was the man from the party, the man from the hotel, the man whose name she had not known until now. Mr. William Carter. He walked to the front. He looked at everyone. For 1 second, his eyes met Josie's eyes. His face did not change. He showed no surprise, but Josie knew. She knew he saw her. She knew he remembered. Josie felt a big shock. She could not move. She wanted to disappear. She wanted to hide. How could this be true? The man she had spent a night with was now her company's most important new client. He was the CEO of Carter Industries. This was a terrible, big surprise. Her hands started to shake. This was going to be very difficult. She had promised herself she would forget him. But now he was here, in her office, her new client. 6. A difficult time. The meeting finished. Josie felt a strong need to leave the room quickly. She wanted to escape the eyes of Mr. William Carter. Her heart was beating fast. She had hoped to just go back to her desk and forget the shocking moment when she saw him. But it was not that easy. "Miss Lewis," Mr. Carter's voice was calm and clear. "Could you please stay for a moment? I would like to speak with you alone." Josie felt a cold shiver. Everyone else was leaving. She nodded slowly, trying to look professional. Her hands felt cold. She waited until the last person walked out, closing the door softly behind them. Now, it was just her and Mr. Carter in the large, quiet meeting room. He stood up from the head of the table. He walked slowly towards her. His face was serious, like a CEO in an important business meeting. But his eyes, Josie noticed, told a different story. They held a look she remembered from the party, a look that made her feel both scared and strangely interested. "Miss Lewis," he said again, his voice still formal. "We need to discuss your ideas for the new campaign for Carter Industries." He stopped a few steps from her. The air in the room felt thick. Josie tried to sound confident. "Of course, Mr. Carter. I am ready to explain everything." She held a folder of papers tightly in her hands. Then a small smile touched his lips. It was a very small smile, but it changed his face. "So formal now?" he asked. His voice was a little softer, not so much like a boss anymore. Josie looked down at her papers. She did not want to meet his eyes. "Mr. Carter," she said, her voice quiet, "I think it is best if we do not talk about that night. It was a mistake." He took another step closer. Josie could feel his presence very strongly. "I am not here to talk about the past," he said. His voice was low. "But I cannot forget you, Josie." Josie's heart jumped. She took a step back. This was dangerous. This was wrong. She thought about her job. This new client was very important. If anything went wrong because of their past, she could lose everything. "Please stop," Josie said, her voice shaking a little. "This could cause big problems for me. This could cost me my job at this company." Mr. Carter's smile grew a little wider. It was not a kind smile. It was a smile that held power and a hint of something else, something risky. "Maybe," he said, his eyes fixed on hers, "or maybe it could make your career here even better." Josie did not know what to say. His words were like a challenge or maybe a threat. She felt trapped. This was going to be a very difficult time for her at work. She knew that now. Her mind raced, trying to find a way out of this impossible situation. But she could not find one. 7. A big problem. Weeks passed quickly. Mr. Carter and I had many meetings. We tried to be professional, but it was hard. Every time we met, I felt nervous. He always found ways to be alone with me. He would ask me to stay after a meeting to talk about a project. Sometimes he called me late at night. He said it was about urgent work. Other times, we had coffee meetings. These meetings often turned into long looks between us. Soon, people at work started to notice something. They saw us together often. They saw how he looked at me. My friend Mia asked me one day, "Are you seeing him, Josie?" I said no quickly, but my voice was not steady. I felt my face turn red. Rumors began to spread around the office. People whispered when I walked by. I heard my name and Mr. Carter's name together. My boss called me into his office one afternoon. He did not look happy. He told me I needed to be careful. He said that my job was important and I should not let anything cause problems. I felt worried. One evening, William came to my apartment. He did not tell me he was coming. I was very surprised to see him at my door. He said he could not stop thinking about me. He said he needed to see me. I told him this was wrong. I told him it could cause big trouble for both of us, especially for my job. I told him I did not want problems. But then he kissed me. His kiss made all my words disappear. I forgot about the rules and the dangers. We started to see each other in secret. We met after work, away from the office. We talked on the phone late at night. It felt strange. It was like living in two different worlds. One world was my normal life at work. The other world was a secret life with William. It felt like a dream, but also like a bad dream. I knew it was risky, but I could not stop it. This secret went on for a few weeks. Every day I worried someone would find out. I worried about my job. I worried about what people would say. I tried to be very careful. Then, one morning, everything changed. I was at my desk, drinking my coffee. Suddenly, an email arrived for everyone in the company. It was from an unknown sender. I opened the email. My heart stopped. Inside the email, there was a picture. It was a picture of William and me together. We were at the hotel. The picture showed us leaving the hotel together that morning after the party. Someone had found out our secret. Someone had sent the picture to everyone at work. This was a very big problem. 8, the final choice. The office was very quiet. People did not talk much. Everyone looked at Josie. Their eyes felt heavy. It was like she had done something very bad. Josie felt uncomfortable. She knew why everyone was looking. The picture of her and Mr. Carter at the hotel was everywhere. Everyone had seen it. It was a big problem. Soon, Josie's boss called her into his office. His face was serious. He sat behind his big desk. Josie stood in front of it. "Josie," her boss said slowly, "we cannot keep you here." Josie's heart felt cold. She knew this was coming. "This situation," he continued, "it is too much. It is bad for the company. We need to let you go." Josie nodded. She felt a lump in her throat. She wanted to cry, but she held back her tears. She had lost her job, all because of a picture, all because of Mr. Carter. She felt sad and angry at the same time. Josie went back to her desk. She slowly packed her things into a box. Her co-workers watched her. No one said a word. It was a very quiet goodbye. Josie felt very alone. She left the office building with her box. Her work life was over, at least for now. Later that day, Mr. Carter came to see her. He found her outside her apartment building. He looked worried. "Josie," he said, "I am so sorry. I tried to fix it, but I could not." Josie looked at him. He was the man who had changed her life in many ways. He had brought her joy and also great trouble. "It is too late," Josie said. Her voice was soft. "Mr. Carter looked at her with sad eyes. "I will leave my company," he said. "Then we can be together. We can start a new life, just us." Josie thought about his words. He was ready to give up everything. He was ready to lose his big company, his power, his money, all for her. But Josie shook her head. "No, William," she said. "You should not lose everything because of me. You worked very hard for your company. I do not want you to give it all up." She looked at him. "Maybe this is how it should be. Maybe this is the end of our story." Mr. Carter reached out and gently touched her hand. His eyes showed a lot of regret. "I never wanted to hurt you, Josie," he said. Josie gave a small, sad smile. "You did not mean to," she replied. "But you did hurt me, and you hurt yourself too." Josie pulled her hand away. She took a deep breath. She knew what she had to do. She had to walk away. She walked away from Mr. Carter. She walked away from her old job. She walked away from the scandal and the whispers. It was a hard choice. It was the final choice. This whole experience had taught her a big lesson. Her life was different now. It was not the same normal life she had before. She had learned about love, about mistakes, and about being strong. She knew she had to start fresh.